Welcome to the third quarter as we gear up to go round the bend. Charlton teenager Abby Sanderson has wasted no time in making her presence felt on the harness racing track. She scored her first race winner as a 16-year-old in her third race drive in 2021. Abby is the daughter of Charlton trainer Shane Sanderson and wife Naomi, and sister of accomplished young reinsman and older brother Ryan. Welcome to Abby. Your dad Shane began training in the mid-1990s in Queensland before moving to New South Wales about 7 years ago and then to Charlton. One of the key reasons behind the move to Charlton was the opportunities it presented for Abby and Ryan, with Ryan already accomplishing 28 race wins on the track. We would also like to extend a warm welcome to Ryan. The Charlton Park racetrack is the central to a lot of tracks in the region, but it's not only the attraction. Your family has really been adopted by the Charlton community, hasn't it? And you have also fallen in love with them. So my first question is for you, Ryan. Briefly, tell us about your accident in March 2021, as it was a twist of fate, with the outpouring support from the Charlton community to be the catalyst for your family deciding to move to the Charlton Training Centre.
So I basically just had a race fall, and I was, my family were living in Sydney at the time, and I was working here when I left school. So I had the race fall, and Joey Thompson, which runs the Charlton track, he got in contact with Dad, and they bonded a friendship there. And Dad was, somewhat interested in coming over to Victoria to train and give me and Abby a chance, a good opportunity to drive some horses. And Joey really liked the idea of that and coming to Charlton, so it kind of just started from there. And it didn't take long, and we were in Charlton.
That's fantastic. And Abby, this one's for you. Your family are no strangers to the devastation of floods, so tell us about your experience in Queensland.
Yeah, in Queensland, we in the 2011 floods in the Lockyer Valley. We actually lived right on the river line, and we had a property of 25 acres, and we were probably the lucky ones. The water, we had a lot of cleanup and damage to clean up, but really, people around us had lost everything, and we had lost a little bit, but not as much, and we had to evacuate all the horses. So it was pretty scary, but was lucky that our house was on a bit higher ground than where the horses were.
Yeah, and a lot of those natural disasters no one has control over, so it is literally just fate. It ends up being, so you guys were lucky. And so you moved to Charlton, and a few years later you had to face the same situation again. What did you learn that helped you to prepare this time? How did the Charlton community, who you have been through this before, rally around and provide support to you?
The Charlton community was fantastic, really. We knew that, from the news and stuff, that there was, a possibility of floods. So from then on, the community really rallied around, and it was like, right, well, these horses need a place to, go, and, we needed a hand. So, it was great. Everyone kind of jumped in and helped us move our horses where we could. And along with Joey Thompson and the Saints on that back road there, they built a barrier which they actually needed approval from the council. So that was good that they could do that, and it just so happened that as a helicopter flying with it that gave it the approval as well. So after that, Joey and the Saints all jumped in to get that, which really did probably stop it from being a disaster for our horses.
And I guess in the last quarter as well, the other girls also highlighted the fact of the community and how they help out at every opportunity they're given, and it's great how communities come together at times of need. And when I reflected back on when the floods came through Horsham from where I'm from, it was fantastic to see how the whole street came out and they were sandbagging each other's yards and all that sort of thing to make sure no one was left behind. And Ryan, so what did you learn that you'll put in your flood preparedness plan?
Basically just what the community had to do straight away is, just be aware of where the water's coming from and how to stop that. Obviously, get the sandbags ready, and obviously, them natural disasters you can't help but just sit there and watch sometimes. But all that little stuff like the sandbags and walls of the dirt coming into the town, and all that helps.
Yeah, absolutely. And your racing career comes with some serious mileage and late night driving, I'm sure of it. And you are only 1 year older than me at 19 years of age, but you drive with not only your family on board, but you could also be floating 3 valuable horses each week. So could you tell us about where you travel and how many kilometres this is, and your concerns about driving on the rural damaged networks of roads in Victoria?
We do a bit of driving. Probably tend to race, 5, 6, 7 days a week, consisting anywhere from Mildura to Cranbourne and in between, and Shepparton and Kilmore, Bendigo, Maryborough. Not too sure how many kilometres we do, but I know it's a lot of hours a week, and a lot of late night driving. The roads, some roads are pretty rough, particularly on the way to Shepparton or Ararat Stall area. Probably the only good thing is they're pretty quiet. But when you get the odd truck coming past, it can be you got to slow down a bit. But and plenty of potholes, and when it's raining, it's you got to slow down. But we spend a lot of time on the road, and but we enjoy our racing, so it's all worth it.
Yeah, and I guess I travel over here almost 2 hours when I've got to work, as well as I also shoot competition and clay targets. So I go around Victoria and South Australia shooting clay targets, and I find Victorian roads are really, really bad. And then you kind of hit the South Australian border and they sort of improve. So I guess just a question as well that I asked the last lot of students was, what actually would you say to someone in Parliament if they said something about the roads? Like, how would you say it about living in regional Victoria? What do you think? What do we need from them?
Probably need. Obviously, it's pretty simple. We might need better roads, but them roads, a lot of trucks go past, and for a family like us, we're doing a lot of late night driving. The roads probably need to just be wider and more maintained. And it's a vast variety of. Obviously, you said the Victorian roads all over Victoria. The country roads can be pretty bad, but we just need we need to update them country roads because an accident can happen definitely, specifically when the big trucks are coming past the small cars.
Absolutely. And are you sort of on the same boat, Abby? You think the same sort of thing?
Yeah, definitely. It's especially when it's late at night and on them country road, there is some there's where it says to slow down to 60 and there's signs. And when it's late at night, you may miss them or you may not notice them as much. And by the time it takes you to slow down, then it's quite dangerous, especially when it's at night time when there's big potholes in the roads. So, I definitely think that the country roads in particular towards like Shepparton and Stawell anyway, that way needs to be improved, mainly wider, and the amount of potholes in them, like you probably just can't just fill them in. The whole road probably needs a bit of help.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're seeing right across Victoria, as I said before. For those people who have not yet reached out for support, you can visit agriculture.vic.gov.au/floods, and a number of the grants have been extended until the 13th of July 2023, and this includes the Primary Producer Flood Recovery Grant, the Rural Landholder Grant, the Flood Recovery Transport Support Program, and the Primary Producer Flood Recovery Concessional Loan. The Rural Financial Counselling Service is available to assist primary producers to understand and apply for flood and storm support. Primary producers can contact their local RFCS on 1300 771 741. More information is available at Rural Finance at www.ruralfinance.com.au or by calling 1800 260 425. Also, reach out to your local water authority. Those who have been flooded may be eligible for rebates. A list of other grants and support networks are available at www.bullock.vic.gov.au/funding available for those affected by flooding. I'd like to thank you both for being on and coming on and talking to us about all things in Bullock. So we'll giddy up onto the fourth quarter.